Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Excuse the background again, still at my mother's home in a room not used very much. Um, so today I would like to discuss an article I read this morning. This channel is called Real Economics. I am an economist and economics is my passion, and I claim to know a whole lot of economics, and so I try to share real economics because it's not usually done in the real world or most places. Um, but another reason for this channel is to use economics to relate to people how screwed up the world is, and more specifically, how politicians and the government are causing all of our economic problems. Yeah, just about all. Um, And so, one thing I will do a lot is comment on articles I read, because a lot of the a lot of the problems we have, I explain to people how, or I try to explain to people how our entire economy is rigged from head to toe. I mean, not everything. There are free. You can act freely within very tight controlled and manipulated boundaries. But everything is manipulated, and most things are propaganda. And people say to me, well, if I don't spend the time researching things like you, how could I know this? And with articles like this one I want to comment on today, it's right there in front of you. I mean, often the truth is right there in front of you, especially with Trump. He explains all the evil things he's doing. Other politicians who do just as much evil are more. It's hidden with them. Anyway, let's get into this article. This article is from Reuters, and its title is U.S. says Canada will regret decision to allow Chinese EVs into their market. So it's noting, first of all, this is interesting. So I'm going to comment about more than the focus of the article. In this case, I want to comment on the first sentence, which is interesting. It says Canada in 2024 imposed 100% tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles following similar US duties. Okay, well, Canadian politicians, American politicians, the news media, the global news media, everybody and their mother has protested Trump tariffs since 2018. Rightly so. I'm not defending Trump. Well, I will defend Trump where he's worth defending, but there aren't many places. But the tariffs were the first thing Trump did that made him supposedly evil. And he is evil, but I mean, that supposedly made him evil when that did not make him evil. My point is, the media made a stink about it intentionally. Everyone lied about tariffs and how good or bad they were, and how different Trump was and his policies, to be anti-Trump. But the point is on the tariffs. So he was implementing tariffs along the lines of how American politicians had traditionally implemented tariffs. And that was a real problem, supposedly. But one of the things the media didn't tell you at the time was that most countries have tariffs. The US has always had tariffs. And so the point is, here is Canada in 2024 implementing 100% tariffs on Chinese vehicles, as it says, similar to US duties. So how come it's really bad and terrible when Trump does it, which it is, but not bad and terrible when all the other countries do it? Well, because it's all propaganda. They want you to think that only Trump does bad things when they're all doing bad things. All of them. So Trump is wrong and bad for doing it, but so is Canada. So I wanted to point that out quickly. And now I'll try to continue getting to the main point. So here's the main point. It mentions a U.S. trade representative by the name of Jameson Greer. And it says the statement, Greer, in a separate CNBC interview, called Canada's decision problematic and added, quote, "There's a reason why we don't sell a lot of Chinese cars in the United States. It's because we have tariffs to protect American auto workers and Americans from those vehicles." Again, this is in Reuters. This was the first thing that popped up on my Google News this morning when I woke up. This is right here for everyone to see. And this statement from the Trump administration, from somebody in the Trump administration, is no different than what has been said by every administration for decades and decades. But here it is. This guy is saying, I'll repeat, there's a reason why we don't sell Chinese cars. It's because we have tariffs to protect American auto workers and Americans from those vehicles, protecting Americans from Chinese vehicles, protecting Americans from having a greater supply of vehicles, protecting Americans from having a larger supply of goods and services. So here's the government protecting us from having more goods and services at lower prices. Is this not insane to you? It is to me. I've seen it for decades, and I'm still appalled. And it's unbelievable that we're not marching in the streets over this and the million other things the government does to protect us like this. We're so protected that we have a fraction of the living standards that we could have if they were not protecting us. Just think about if we had Chinese automobiles, Brazilian automobiles, I don't think there are any, but you get the idea. There could be. Russian automobiles, and then Russian, Brazilian, Chinese, and whatever other products. I mean, take, I know that, I can't think of the term, but a lot of things you buy in the grocery store that, or drugstores rather, soaps, shampoos, cleaning products, those are mostly American, made in America. If you go to other countries, there are some American products, but they're mostly, if you go to France, I know, it's mostly French-made products. And each country doesn't have the other's goods. So all of these countries are, quote, protecting their citizens from goods from other countries. If we just let the goods flow country by country, we would all have twice, or just imagine if we had twice, 3 times, 10 times the amount of goods and services that we currently have. Well, prices would be the inverse of that. If we had 10 times the amount of goods and services, we would have a price level at 1/10 the level that it is now. Yes, it would be 1/10. That's mathematically correct. So we're living our lives, and we don't care about statements like this, but it's outrageous. They're protecting us from having more goods and services. We should allow all Chinese vehicles, Brazilian, Russian, we should allow all of the consumer products from other countries. We should allow anything. The airline industry, when you get on a plane domestically, it's only an American airline, right? Foreign carriers are not permitted to fly point to point inside domestic destinations. I could go on and on all day with these examples. One moment.